you live long enough, you're gonna find a big dick or two. You know?
Yeah. It's just what happens.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a lady.
Oh, that's fair. She is probably a lady.
Because I've been living long and I still haven't found one yet.
This has just been Scott's subtle stabs at his own dick podcast.
Neither of any of those people that have been watching.
You know what? I'm not stabbing vaginas with my dick. All right.
How long can it go? It's just not your dick.
Not
I know
very
that's
long.
not very long.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
He's stabbing lots of labia, but
yeah, I'm okay. Yeah.
That was a lame. Yep. Was that a reach?
yeah,
Labia up?
yeah. But I liked it.
Good.
Welcome to the Stoney Baloney podcast, Kylie.
Welcome, Kylie.
Thank you so much.
It's lovely to finally have you here.
I know, I'm excited. I feel like I've been trying to do this podcast for a long time.
We tried
Scott.
to book you like last fall.
Is that how it feels? Is that like the energy in there?
I had this on my calendar in November.
I know.
Yeah. And something happened.
What did happen? We went on a hiatus for a while, didn't we? I think that we couldn't match on scheduling at one point.
Yeah.
And then we had a lot of
before we got into here, everything was a shit show.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like trying because we had somebody who was helping us producing, but it's not like he had a full-time job, so it was, you know, when he was available and we were available, and it just that was rough.
Yeah.
We ended up having to postpone a lot of people and also having episodes we did that are just like scrapped.
Yeah.
Like they'll never see the light of day. They got fucked up. So we had a
Basically,
rough run for that first year.
What Gabe was trying to say is we had to make the podcast better so that it was a caliber equal to the guest.
There we go.
Wow.
Nice. Well
I don't know what I'm doing here.
Well, we thought Quinn was coming.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That makes so much more sense. I was like, Scott doesn't have time, but suddenly I have a podcast with Quinn, and now we're invited. This is crazy.
Yep, that slot just opened up.
I know my place.
Well, we were trying to do a Mother's Day podcast with both of you.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That would have been fun.
Yeah, Megan Trainor style.
Megan Trainor style. Did she do that? Did she do that?
No, she's got a song.
Oh.
Mother.
I don't like her.
Well, no, she's not Taylor Swift. So I get it.
Fair. I don't really like a lot of people that aren't Taylor Swift. To be
That's
honest.
true.
At
least you're loyal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you do have your friendship or are known by you or liked by you, then it makes it a little bit more valuable because you don't like that many people.
That's true.
How
That's
many?
actually really true.
Do you have
How
like
many people?
Yeah, total.
So like 17.
Bigger than you would think. Yeah, it's like probably like 20 people that I would be like, I really like them. I'm tolerant and enjoy being around a lot of people, but that doesn't mean I like you, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very different line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, being
acquaintance
like-
to friend, you know?
Being like casual friends and being close friends with somebody are like two different things.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, also with what we do, you interact with so many people on a nightly basis that you're like, I have to interact with you often. And
Yeah.
that's why we do, because we have to.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's like people that I would, you know, try to help pull from a burning building, but I don't really want to spend a Saturday night with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
And also,
Saturday
It's a
afternoon.
weird dichotomy because I feel like, you know.
And also, like, sure, I may have set the building on fire, but like,
Yeah. Well, that's a different list of people.
yeah.
That's a third level.
Nice.
People you're trying to get to like you more, so you set the building on fire so you can save them. So they're like, oh my God, my hero.
Oh, no, just people that you hate want to
I like
die.
that. Okay. That's a good. That's
But
a
good.
list.
That's a good strategy, yeah.
That's an excellent strategy.
Yeah.
Little false flag attack. I don't know.
Yeah, you're like a serial
Arsonist.
saver.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It just sounded like you were describing my dating life, to be honest.
Your dating life does sound like a burning house. Yeah.
Yeah, that I'm setting on fire to get them to like me so I can I'm like, trying to go in and save them. Exactly. They're already broken. Let's just burn it down.
Podcast
and then
over.
Fix it.
We figured it out.
Yeah, we
got
already
to the
found
end.
out what Kylie's story is.
That's it. You know?
Tell
what
us
I do.
about your dating life. That's your story today, right?
I was going to talk about my worst date, I think. But
Your worst date?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my dating life is mostly just a string of my worst dates. So.
It was so it took you until you're probably still picking
still
which
on
one.
that
You're like,
date.
I don't know which one.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, that really was it. But actually, the more embarrassing thing is I don't have a lot of worst date stories because most of them aren't taking me on dates. You know? So there's just a bunch of stories about me being a dumbass.
It's got so sad.
I didn't think it was sad. That was just true.
Legitimately, do you think your dating life is better / worse and more / less crazy pre and post comedy?
Good question. It's a little bit of both, probably. I feel like it makes it harder to meet people that are probably not
at least
fucked up.
Adjacent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
To the
because,
world
you know,
we're in,
if you are...
Especially once you start doing comedy, you open yourself up more to the fact that, like, okay, I am fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
like you come to peace with it.
Yeah, they know that
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
if you're getting into comedy.
And then,
Like,
you're attracting that, too. You know what I mean? That's just
exactly.
general magnetism.
Yeah, the mirror you're putting out's not great. And
Yeah.
then also to try to, like, coordinate with, a normal person's schedule is a lot definitely different. You know, like, I went on a couple Hinge dates with somebody that I, like, felt so bad because they were putting in so much effort, but I canceled on them like 3 times in a row because I got on an open mic, you know, and like you're getting to
that's
know
what you have to
someone
do.
that's frustrating as fuck.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Date versus like dating people who get it, even if they're not other comedians, but maybe they have like a hectic work schedule or something like that. You know, it's things pop up like that.
So you date a lot of strippers?
No, I'm thinking about it. Yeah,
We all go to the
Are
Red
any of the
Rose
male
after,
strippers straight though?
that's a good question.
I actually know the answer to that because I knew one and he was very straight.
You told that story.
Yeah.
It's a fun story.
I've only been
Yeah.
to one male strip club in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh.
They did not seem very straight, but it was like a 4-women male strip club.
Yeah, it's a mix. Yeah. But even a 4-women male strip club, like the majority of the money being spent in there is gay men. For sure.
Yeah.
Always. Like any male strip club and that's like across the board. Like that's where
Yeah.
they're making their money is off the dudes.
They went crazy too, like comparison wise to female strippers. It was like shit in there that I didn't know how was legal. They like poured candle wax on one of my friends.
Damn.
Oh,
Yeah, it was like a very
Kinky.
Magic Mike type real
Yeah.
life situation.
Okay.
And I was just like, I don't know how this is legal. It was in like a weird cellar in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I was like, this is probably not above
I feel like
board.
you need to sign a form before they pour
We
candle
did.
wax. Okay.
Yeah,
then
we had to
there-
sign a form when we came in for
Nice.
interactive.
Also, I don't know if there are
Probably consent kind of thing. I would
if there
imagine.
are laws that extend to cellars in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's
Yeah.
like a international waters situation.
Assuming Cleveland has any kind of moral
where
values.
there's no laws that abide.
That's a
you know?
gloomy place, and I
Yeah.
imagine that the art reflects that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
As a former Ohioan, can confirm.
Ohio. What
That's where my
place.
dad's
So
from.
embarrassing. Which part?
He's from Sugar Creek, which is the odd, like just east of Amish country,
Okay.
very edge of Pennsylvania.
Okay. Yeah. That's like kind of where my hometown is too. It's
Okay.
pretty south, but it's right on the Indiana border.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of Amish people that would like help on construction sites and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so probably similar. Is it north or south?
That's a good question. I think it's north, but I don't really know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot going on there.
No, the farms.
Yeah.
Like pretty
Yep.
much exclusively
Just fields.
farms.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of corn.
We used to say how far you lived from our neighbors by
And
how many
heroin.
fields were between you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably some good heroin too.
Probably.
Being honest.
Well, it's probably full of fentanyl, but yeah.
no, they're
by
growing,
today's
they're growing the
standards,
poppy. That's the pure shit. right there.
are they?
In Ohio?
Okay.
Interesting.
You ever dated anyone from Ohio?
Yeah.
Who grew poppy?
Yeah. I mean, I was in Ohio till I was 25.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, but actually,
I'm sorry.
So it would have been
Yeah.
pretty weird if you had exclusively dated people
And
not from Ohio.
yeah.
Like,
Go
yeah.
to
I
Michigan every
actually-
weekend.
I only had 2 high school boyfriends, and then I didn't really have a boyfriend in my early 20s. Like, the next guy I dated, I was 25. So, I was single for a long time. So, yeah, not a lot of Ohio guys, which, like, is a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be stuck there. That would have been the worst thing.
That is a place that it's easy to get
Oh,
stuck.
everybody
too.
gets stuck. Nobody leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, like, you know, if you like it, sure. But I can't live somewhere. I couldn't even have a pizza delivered. That's crazy. That's how small my town was.
Huh?
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't live like that.
No. I had a weird dichotomy growing up because I grew up just outside of Chicago, but we would go back to the farm every summer. So it was like living in the city and then going back to the
Yeah.
like, tiny, crazy farm town. And not even town. It was literally just farm. Like it was just nothing but
And then like a feed store that you could also
yeah,
buy
exactly.
cured
Yeah,
ham
and then
at.
a cheese house.
all right. Well, hold on.
Because it
That
was a
sounds
German
appealing.
Hold
town.
on.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
I feel like you're underselling the cheese house a little bit there.
Oh,
but...
I can't oversell Yagi's Cheese House.
Wow.
Okay.
This is in Ohio.
My dad used to send me a box of Yagi's cheese for my birthday every single year until they stopped being able to ship it.
I hear a road trip happening.
Yeah, so you
Within,
say
like, last year.
Ohio.
Oh, you
I
have
go.
no
I have to
idea.
go back and visit my
Yes.
parents a lot.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For the food alone. Yeah.
Cool.
I want to go there.
Yeah.
Anything with cheese in the name has my attention.
It's yeah. And this place is legitimately shout out Yagi. It's a place that has been in like the same family for I think it's like 5 or 6 generations now. They've had that place in that town for over 100 years.
Yeah.
Fucking insane.
That's how I feel about. Even though we can't get pizza delivered, the best pizza I've ever had is my hometown's bowling alley pizza, and
Okay,
it's never been
nice.
oversold. Like every time I bring out of town visitors, and they're like,
Like,
"Oh,
okay, it is that good."
and then they leave, and they're like, "No, that's like the best pizza I've ever
Nice.
had." It's crazy.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Can't get it delivered to you though.
Nope.
Real
Fuck
bummer.
no. You got to go get it.
Yeah.
But it's worth going to get.
Oh yeah. Lots of people have probably died drunk driving to get that pizza. We have a really high drunk because there's no Ubers. It's so small. You can't
Yeah.
do anything.
And there's nothing much to
I
do
think it's
except
No,
I think
drink
it's
and
more.
drive.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I think it's more because people are drinking and driving. That's
Yeah.
probably why.
Yeah.
Less so than the Ubers.
Well, they're drinking and
fun
driving
activity.
because they can't take Ubers. You know?
Yeah, and they can't take
No,
Ubers
they're
because
drinking
nobody
and driving
can
because
drive.
they live in Ohio.
Yeah.
Valid point. Yeah.
And it's like I want to be drunk or dead, one of
Yeah.
the two. So
And the reason there's no
Yeah.
Ubers is because everybody has a DUI.
Yeah, so nobody could drive.
So
yeah,
nobody could
anybody
work for
can
them.
drive got the fuck out of Ohio a long time ago. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a really valid point.
Mm-hmm.
The whole system is rigged, I guess, from the beginning with that. All your sober drivers are drunk driving.
That should be Ohio's slogan.
Yeah.
That should be like on their license plates.
Mm-hmm.
It's the last thing you see before a truck driver plows into you. And
It's weird to be sober. Like, that's just like the bumper sticker.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yeah.
that actually should be their state motto. It is, though. Yeah, there's nothing else to do.
instead of keep it weird, it's like keep it above 0.08.
Yeah. I drank a lot in high school. So we were like, what the fuck else are we going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody does drugs there, though. They're functioning alcoholics that weed is still like the devil's lettuce. So that's
Really?
crazy. Yeah. That area, it's like still weird. I think once people left and went to college, like my age, they got it. But it's like the older people there, they act like they never were alive in the 70s. It's crazy.
Yeah, but also like that type of like farm town living shit. Like you've got too much to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like every town has like the one person that does drugs, but other than that, it's like everybody's busy.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have like your work. You know what I'm saying? Like your whatever shitty job you have, you work there 14 hours a day, and then you go home and get drunk and then pass out. So like, there's
Yeah.
no time to do heroin.
Yeah.
You know,
True.
Yeah.
True.
You're doing
or
meth,
find someone
so you
to do
can-
heroin because who's gonna come to Ohio to sell
Yeah.
heroin?
Yeah. No.
Us. That's who. 'Cause
Drugs
it's
and
a fucking
murders,
market
very
that's
rare
nobody
there.
cornered, and we're gonna take care of that.
Yeah.
Toledo exists,
Yeah.
and so does Akron. They got the heroin covered.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They'll
Yeah,
be
I
fine.
know. Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
They'll be all right.
Yeah.
Stony Baloney stickers, though.
Cincinnati.
We'll send some Stony Baloney
Cincinnati
stickers to
definitely got
Ohio.
some heroin.
Oh, yeah.
Cincinnati, for sure.
It's got the
Cincinnati.
word sin in the name.
Yeah.
You know?
Plus Joe Burrow, that leg, that could help out this season. Give him a little-
Exactly. Yep.
Yep.
We used to call it Cincinnati.
Yeah, that sounds
That
about
makes
right.
sense.
But to
Yeah.
be fair, I lived in Dayton, and they called that just like the Dirty D. So.
Oh, Dayton.
No,
Were
Ohio
there-
has a good name.
Were there a lot of dirty D's in Dayton?
Yeah.
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 Is that the exclusively the
No further
what was
comment.
available? Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Rough waters over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I said. Worst thing that could happen to me was to have been stuck in Ohio with a man there. That'd be awful. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, there's no Taylor Swift song about that.
No. Well, she is dating an Ohio boy now, so
Yeah, well,
I guess there might be eventually.
ooh, fuck. I'm sorry.
So you're saying she might go back to country? Is what you're saying?
Oh, Taylor Swift country album? I mean, Stevie Nicks helped her on this album, didn't she?
Yeah,
Yeah, see, she's moving back into like Americana and like classic rock,
maybe. But so did Post Malone.
guitar. She's moving out of pop,
So.
maybe.
Post Malone did just do a country song though too, actually.
See, country's getting very popular. Jelly Roll exists.
Yeah, Beyonce tried it.
Billy Strings is blowing up. I don't know. Trends, man.
Billy Strings
Trends
is
work
sick.
cycles.
I saw him at ACL.
Billy Strings
Yeah.
is fucking awesome.
It
Yeah, I want to go see him
really
live
cool.
really
The show
bad.
was really cool.
Sturgill
I've never seen him
Simpson-
before that.
Sturgill Simpson's playing ACL.
Yeah, I
I'm
saw
excited
that.
for that.
Yeah.
And Krungbin.
Say it again.
Krungbin.
Yeah.
I love Krungbin.
I
They're
looked at
beautiful.
it several times and I was like, I'm not even gonna try. I
Oh,
have
they're
no
yeah.
idea what this says.
Try to spell it.
No, I will not.
Tell us about your worst first date
My worst first date.
or worst date or whatever the story
Yeah.
was that you had in mind.
Yeah.
Whatever your
Whatever
stupid
your
story
stupid
is.
Go ahead, tell your story.
Women, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monkey's gonna be playing tambourines in my head the whole time.
Probably.
I'm gonna be listening to Alice
It's
in
like the Peanuts
Chains up
gang
there.
parents just womp, womp, womp.
That one kid dancing. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking love that kid, dude.
Yeah. It's such a shock that I have bad dating stories when men are just like this. Isn't that wild?
Amazing and
Yeah,
entertaining.
charismatic. What are you saying?
Hilarious.
You're saying you want to go out? I don't understand. I'm very confused. When men are like, what?
Gay.
Let's smoke more drugs. No, tell us your story.
The worst date I ever went on. It was the first Hinge date I ever went on, and it was in Nashville. So this is a Nashville man. First of all, he showed up and he was much shorter than he said he was, which that
Was he
happens-
shorter
that
than
happens
you?
a lot. Yeah, and
Oh.
Okay, a lot. Like, give me a percentage.
no, he was probably like 5'8".
No. I'm saying like a lot of guys. Like you're saying most of the guys
most
are
guys
shorter
online
than.
are lying about their height. Yeah,
What the fuck?
that's why my favorite meme that went around was like 5'11", or as some guys like, or 5'9", or some guys like to call it 5'11", like on May 9th.
Okay.
That's fucking.
saw that.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Ray. That's very funny. And I guess that's just the reality of like, why would I lie about my height?
Yeah. Yeah, neither of you needs to do that, so why would you think about that?
Yeah. But
And they don't
that's-
ask for your weight on Hinge, so
How
Yeah.
dare you?
yeah.
How
Otherwise,
dare you?
yeah.
How
Yeah.
dare you?
But yeah, that was like not out of the norm, but it was first just annoying. And then he's seemingly like wasted on this date already. And he's like telling me that this was his first drink when he got there. Sits down, he has like a whiskey, and he's talking to me, and he's like getting progressively louder. He is like asking me a bunch of weird questions, like, and I was like, oh, were you here for a while before? And he's like, oh no, I just forgot to eat today. So, but I was like, okay, either this guy definitely pre-gamed this date, or he's a little bitch because he gets that drunk off of one whiskey. That was crazy. Like, he's spiraling out. And one of the questions he finally asked me is, he's just like, so have you ever thought about being gay? On my date. And I was like, no, why? And he was like, I just think about sexuality a lot, and I was curious if you've had sex with any girls. And so I'm like, okay, is this leading into this being some kind of like, he wants to have a threesome or something, right?
Yeah, like the curtain opens
yeah,
and he's like,
this is my
what
girlfriend.
about this girl?
Yeah.
Have you had sexual thoughts about this one?
Specifically right now, what are you thinking? Like, yeah, it felt like that. So I was just like, okay, that's not that weird. If it was in Austin, I would be even less surprised by that. But
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, in
I guess
Nashville at the
Nashville.
time,
That's
it's not as big of a thing.
Austin, it's almost weirder if you go on a date and that doesn't happen.
Yeah. And so
well for me.
I was confused.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100% of the time I go on
Yeah,
a
that
date,
would be
that is what's
strange. That
happening.
would be
Yeah,
strange.
yeah,
Your wife
sure.
would be upset.
She would be. Yeah.
You're right. Curtain.
Well, that's because I told her about the date.
Yeah. But yeah, so he
As
asked
a
me
prank.
that.
I got you. You said don't jump out and scare you and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he asked me that, and I was like, no, like, I mean, I've been drunk and made out with girls and stuff like that. The usual college basic bitch story, you know? And he's like, huh, interesting. And I was like, why do you ask? And he says, you just have real dyke energy.
damn.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And I was literally like,
How long?
What?
How much time into the date is this?
maybe 30 minutes.
Oh shit! This is early.
Yeah, like a 30 minutes
God
in.
damn.
So this drunk guy comes in and thinks he's got a read on you.
Yeah, and that I like pussy. That was the read he was picking up.
What the fuck? Like, was this like 2 weeks after he found out his ex-girlfriend was now a lesbian? Like that, it
Maybe.
had to have been a fresh
That's a good
wound.
theory.
And you
Yeah.
kind of looked like her, and he was
Yeah.
like, All these
This lesbian
bitches are out here
bitch.
fucking.
Goddamn carpet munchers.
Yeah. I like that backstory.
That's too fucking aggressive
You know,
and personal.
That humbles him a little bit for me. I'll take that. That makes me forgive him a little.
I
That's his backstory.
wasn't saying that. No. That's not what I'm
kinda
saying at all.
sad, though, you know?
No, it is.
His
Here's the
mom
problem.
left
Look,
dad
this is
for
the
a
problem.
woman.
This is it. I just did.
Yeah.
Just watched how every toxic relationship
You're
I
like,
started.
you know what? I'm gonna fucking.
Well, he's like this because something really bad happened to him. It's okay.
Yeah, sympathize
What,
with the devil.
what would he be
yeah.
like if something really good like me happened to him?
Yeah, I can fix him. You can't. It's just in. You can't.
Yeah, no, you can. You cannot. No matter which one it is, you can't. No.
No.
Here's the thing: you kind of can.
Well.
If it's the right match, because I was a piece of shit when I met my wife.
Fair.
Like I was a real.
But that's the exception, not the rule.
fuck bag. It's a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it may be the exception, but it's absolutely possible, and it's a choice on both sides.
Yeah.
But I'm a better person because she made me a better person.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
A big part of life is you are who you surround yourself with.
Oh yeah.
So that comes into effect, and then just having like a motivation, having someone that you care about, and being like, I want to maybe be like a better person.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time I do grow up and be a little bit more mature. Like that.
And there's definitely some of that where it was like if I don't become a better person, like I don't have a chance with somebody like that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And you recognize like
Yeah.
this is definitely worth the effort to become a better version of myself to keep this person in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're like an amalgamation of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Right.
And so obviously out of those 5 people, if you have a partner, that's going to be the top of that list of probably your likeness, because that's who you're spending the most time with.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people are like, oh, who you choose is the most important decision of your life. And some people think that's like demeaning to career and passion, but like career and passion are very intertwined with support, like you were saying.
Yeah, and both of those things can affect each other, right? Like
Yeah.
obviously your career and your passions, working or not working, can affect your relationships as
Right.
well. But yeah, if the relationship is working, everything else will be better.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you don't feel alone in whatever isn't working.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas the opposite isn't true.
Yeah.
Your career can be amazing. If your relationship is shit, that's not going to fix it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, it's not a holdover in the other direction. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of people that do that. They throw themselves into their career when they're like trying to avoid feeling.
Yeah.
So that's bound to be true.
Yeah, like if I can feel good about something, that it kind of masks the reality of that part of it.
Which is
Yeah.
usually stemming from some form of like loneliness. So it just circles back to the
Yeah, you're
original
just
point.
exacerbating the problem. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, sad.
It is.
But it's not sad to hear that there's like there's a type of person, male or female, that's willing to be self-aware enough to be like, you said, like, oh, this person is a catch, and if I'm not matching their energy, I don't want to disrupt their life.
Yeah.
And then making that change for them. Like, it's refreshing to know that people will do that. I've never seen it, but you know.
In theory. Yeah.
theory,
yeah.
it sounds
well,
great.
and I mean, it's like.
It can be inspiring. You have to like you were saying, you have to make the choice yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to want it for yourself too, but being with somebody and understanding that like there's an attraction there, we could be together, but yeah, I need to match their energy.
Yeah.
And wanting to have that for yourself, seeing that person is important too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, this felt so on theme to the fact that I'm a sex and dating podcast host.
So
Kyle's
what
here with her hot
feels like a
takes.
setup. Yeah.
It's a romance podcast now.
Yeah, so how did
Stoney
you
Baloney.
respond to this?
I asked him what he meant by that because I was like, that's a weird thing to say. And I was like, what do you mean by that? And he's like, well, and just starts listing things about me that he
Damn.
finds to be more lesbian energy, or like male energy. And it was funny because it was basically just me having any personality at all. Like, he was like, well, you just like run your own business and you're confident and you like, you're really into working out and stuff like that. And
gay shit.
Yeah, shit for men.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so he's like, I just think that for somebody to be like this confident and forward and like able to be independent and self-sufficient, like they're probably a lesbian.
What the
And I was like, what? It was so crazy. And so at that point I was just like, all right, well, we'll go home, which I had taken an Uber there and was going to Uber back. And then this is my fault because he's like, I'll drive you after I just talked about how drunk he was. And I was so cheap at the time that I was like, yeah, I don't really want to pay for this Uber. So that's
Oh
fine.
my God, Kylie.
This is where I said to some extent, I am the problem. I get it. It takes
Taking
two.
a ride from a drunk stranger. Look at you.
That called me a dyke. Sick.
Yeah. Didn't
Yeah.
just call you a dyke, like literally tried to psychologically analyze you and break it down.
he tried to sell you on how
Sell
you
me.
were a
How
dyke.
gay I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bar's in hell. People are still tripping over it, which is crazy. But yeah, so I let him drive me to my apartment and proceed to be even more dumb because he asks me if he can come up to use the bathroom before he goes, which anybody I've told this story to ever is immediately like, yeah, that was a lie.
Yeah.
And that didn't even cross my mind at all. I was just like, oh man, I hate when I have a long drive and I haven't pissed, So I was
Yeah.
like,
He has been drinking.
he's been drinking. Like, he probably needs to sober up a little bit,
Not thinking like, no, you have a dick. You can pee outside.
Yeah.
Or have-
Or like literally at the gas station across the street. I don't know. We're not in the middle of nowhere. This was in Nashville.
Yeah, there's so many. We passed so many
Yeah.
bathrooms on the
Yeah.
way here, and you will on the way back.
Yeah, you're not. You can't have piss standards. You're a man.
Yeah.
Like you can pee anywhere.
Yeah.
And we do.
Fine. Yeah, You don't always have to
pretty
think
groovy.
about can I sit on this
is.
toilet seat. Like that makes a decision for me hard on where to stop to pee.
Huh?
He doesn't have that.
No.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, sure, come in my home, stranger, drunk stranger,
Drunk stranger.
drunk stranger. Yeah.
Drunk homophobe stranger.
Yeah.
Well, not homophobe. Clearly, he was into it.
Yeah.
He was like, "You're gay, and I like it."
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. He did. He broke it down, and then he still, that's
Yeah.
true. He gave you a
Yeah.
ride home and asked to come inside.
Right. I never even thought about that. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was really a woman.
Maybe he was
That's
just
why he was
vetting
short.
you.
Oh
New theory.
shit! Interesting.
Yeah. Maybe I just didn't know.
Switch.
Maybe he was transitioning and I had no idea. That would be crazy.
That's Oh, there was a different angle. Oh, that's funny. That's way
Yeah.
funnier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he was like, "'Cause I've got a vagina. What do you think about it now?"
There's no girl behind the curtain. It's
Which
about
that
me.
It's
also
me.
happens to
I'm the
people.
girl, and the curtain is my lips.
I wish you would have said that. I wish, because I probably would have dated him if he did.
Right?
That's
Just
funny enough. to be worth
honestly,
it.
because you're like, with that kind of charisma,
Yeah. How can I say no?
we're both lesbians.
Charisma has taken me down a lot of dark paths.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's literally how every cult happens.
Yeah.
Just somebody just like unfortunately got a little too much charisma.
And most serial killers.
Yeah.
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 Not most, but like the Ted
A
Bundys.
good
you know.
percentage, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's only because they failed at starting their cult.
Yeah.
And so they're like, well,
Yeah.
gonna
Good
kill 'em.
point. Good point.
And cult
Kill 'em
leaders failed at murdering, so they were like, "Oh, just start a cult."
Right, exactly. They were like, this rubber knife isn't doing anything.
Yeah.
Should make a batch of Kool-Aid.
That'll show them.
Yeah.
And it does. It does show them.
I'll show him.
Well,
What happened after this? Did he like go in the bathroom and he steal like your pills, like what,
My estrogen.
your dirty panties? What happened next?
No, yeah. So he's in the bathroom for like a really long time, it felt like. And he comes out.
he just took a big hairy shit. Like that
Yeah,
was it. He was like,
probably.
I don't want this to happen at home.
Yeah.
This is for you.
Because he hates lesbians.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. He was like, this is for
Full
you,
circle.
dyke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he comes back out and then he was like, oh, that's a nice TV. We could watch a movie or something. And I was like, this date's going differently in our heads. That's what I said.
Oh, you actually said that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, you said that out
wonderful.
loud
Yeah,
with your
I
mouth?
said we're having two very different experiences right now.
Yeah, that is. Here's the thing. That is really funny, but also absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
It is like it is unfortunate because of and it's not just because of like the angle that's typically taken is like, well, men are stupid. You got to tell them 1,000 times. But that's also because part of the game is sometimes a woman says no and she means yes. So like, it is a web of fucking trying to figure it all out.
Yeah.
And some guys are stupid and they
Yeah.
can't figure it out.
Yeah.
And so you have to be very direct
Yeah.
and just be like, no.
Well, and some people
This
lack the
is not
self-awareness to
happening,
know that. Like,
man.
they'll come home from a date where they get rejected, and male or females will do this.
Yeah.
And you're spiraling on, like, that went so great. I don't understand, like, why they're not doing this. Like, that was so great. And you're not picking up, like most people are picking up sound, like you have to be a really good actor to not make it obvious when you don't really want to be somewhere, I feel like. You know, like you can only fake so much chemistry.
Yeah,
and especially if you don't want to.
Yeah, there's oblivion on the other side too, which I'm sure maybe some of that was the fact that he was drunk, but also it sounds like some of it is the fact that this guy's just missing. Most cues everywhere he goes. I.e., don't start the date pissed drunk.
Yeah,
that's a number one. He missed the cue, like out of the gate.
That's true.
He fucked up the minute he stepped outside that day. Like he just,
and maybe he was just nervous, and he showed up at the bar like 2 hours early, and he was like, "I'll just have one drink." While I wait, and then 9 drinks later.
Well, he was nervous because he was afraid that I liked
somewhere
women.
in there he became a filthy alcoholic, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll do this many instead."
Yeah, maybe he was nervous because from my profile he already was like giving dyke energy.
You're just so pretty. People get so nervous, Kylie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't my big scary lesbian energy. I was also like.
To be fair, you did wear that hoodie on.
I didn't wear this yet. Yeah, I don't remember what I was wearing, but maybe it contributed. Yeah, maybe he was like, "These are some lesbian-looking shoulders," you know?
Yeah. Did you have on soccer shorts?
No. I don't know why I had to think about that for a second.
You did. You said you were like.
Was it that day? No, it was a different one.
No, it was Thursday. It was Thursday.
That was last week. Hey, in Austin, that could help me on dates.
Soccer shorts or being a lesbian.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
that could have been a date gone well.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, here that's a compliment.
Yeah, it would be a hopeful question.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, are you?
Yeah.
Why do you think we wore
behind
our
this curtain is my wife. She was back there. Yeah, that would be crazy. Yeah, he comes out of the bathroom though, asks that, and
you tell him verbatim.
I said, "We're having 2 very different experiences right now. If you think that we're gonna continue the date," and he was like, "Oh, okay. I just thought that like you wouldn't have me drive you home." To which I had to basically be like, "No, I'm just poor," which also sucked. And then he like comes up to me at my counter and like puts his like fingers through like belt loops, on my pants, and is like tries to like pull me in and kiss me after I just told him that this date was going terribly.
Okay. That's
and so I had to literally like push him out of my apartment. He wasn't being like forceful. He was just like so drunk and like
completely was
I thought
not
we were having
getting
a good
it.
time. Yeah.
Also, I didn't know that.
No, I told you we weren't. I said it.
I'm having a bad time. Yeah.
I didn't know that giving a girl
Jesus
a ride
Christ.
home implied that we were supposed to hook up.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
No,
I thought sometimes
Female
you just
101.
give a person a ride home just to be a good
sometimes. Not that guy. He's
but
never done that in his life.
But also the like the sting of like, oh, I thought you were into me, and like, no, this was about convenience
in real time. Yeah.
Oh,
I was using you for your money.
Oh, and not like your lots of money.
No,
like you're
like your
like your
$12.95.
$7 that it saved me to not take that Uber.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't know.
Not for him. That's
No.
sad. It's very sad.
Uber's
for him.
downtown.
But also,
Nashville,
like,
expensive.
don't be a
Yeah.
drunk asshole and not be able to take any social cues.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing. At that point, that's on you.
If you don't, I do understand that there are some people who are just like
Hard to
awkward
read,
or
yeah.
dumb.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying on the other side that are just like that don't get the way that things are supposed to work. But like,
Yeah.
at some point, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like this was when you were like 18. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're adults.
I'm,
like,
like,
it's some
25.
like you've got
It
to
hurts.
figure it out.
Yeah.
Some
It
like,
hurts.
I
You,
was
hurt,
30.
you hurt for them. You're like, come on, bud. Just
You haven't learned anything. Come on, you haven't learned anything about
Yeah.
how this is supposed to go. Like,
Yeah.
don't make me do this.
oh, yeah, exactly. Like, don't make me be the one
Yeah.
to like finally teach you, because like if you haven't gotten it up until now, it's gonna have to be brutal.
Yeah. Because like at what point? So what I didn't include, because it's not funny, but now it is, I guess. When we pulled
Funny or not?
after that conversation, it is. We pulled up and there was like visitor parking. You had to go through the gate and shit, right? Or there's like the emergency zone. You can't park here. And when he was like, "Oh, am I okay to park here?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, because you're gonna be right back out." Like I literally had already said that. Like I was like, "Oh, you're just running up to the bathroom and then let him leave his car in this emergency spot." Like, at what point would you not put that together in your brain? You know? Oh, she definitely wanted me to come up and my car to get towed. Like, what? That's your.
And I only have to be in and out? Great.
Yeah, maybe he saw that as like, oh, she's more of a freak than I am.
Cool.
Sick.
That's so
A quickie
like,
for the road?
Yeah, maybe that's.
I'll just leave the key in the ignition.
I also like anytime I've been on a first date situation, like I'm always aware of like, is the, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm always, and part of it I guess is just because I question myself, like like just the artistic reality of like everything I do. I'm like, that's not good enough. So like, of course, first time interactions with people, the whole time I'm like, they hate me. Because why wouldn't you? Because why wouldn't you? Because I'm fucking awful.
So maybe people who don't do that aren't actually not self-aware. They just actually have confidence, and we don't know what that's like.
Maybe.
Yeah, we're like, they can't read social cues, and we're just like, no, we're over-analyzing all the social cues.
Yeah, no, it's because I have one face all the time, and it's like, not impressed. So how could you read the cues? Because the whole time I was just giving you like, that's fair.
So you're saying we're the problem?
Yeah,
for sure.
That makes sense.
That makes
it's
a lot of sense. Yeah.
Also, anybody who saw us on a dating app right now and went on a first date with us, and they were like, and we tell them, so I do a podcast. That red flag. That's a red flag. First, right off the
get
bat.
out. Yeah, if anybody, for anybody watching, if you're on a date with somebody and they tell you they do a podcast, date over or podcast over. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the moment where you got to pick one or the other.
It works both ways too, because men don't really react well to it whenever I tell them my podcast either.
No,
it's a red
not.
flag for male or male.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Because then it's like, oh, I got to watch this shit, don't I?
And like you already know this person doesn't shut the fuck up probably then.
Well, that's the fucked up part too, is when they find out you host a podcast, they're like, go find it.
Yeah. And you're like, this isn't a version you're supposed to see until you already like me.
Yeah, exactly. The same as like doing stand-up. Like I don't want to, that's not third date you come to my comedy show probably.
Yeah.
I don't want to take you to the open mic. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife was dealing with something at work and she had to like explain to the person she was dealing with that she had like direct interaction with the products, and she was like, my husband's got a, she calls me her wife sometimes. my husband,
you do have very pretty hair, so I can see why.
As you should.
My husband's got a podcast, and it's hosted on YouTube, and so like I'm interacting with all this kind of stuff, and then like hours later in a different interaction, the guy was like, hey, what's your husband's name? And she was like, just kind of like, oh, okay, this. And then she was like, cool, I'm going to look him up and check out his podcast. And she was like, oh, no. Oh, Joe, I wish you wouldn't.
Please don't.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's funny.
So if he's watching, you should probably stop.
Yeah.
So are you saying that the people at Google think Lauren's married to Joe Rogan now?
Probably, yeah.
Because she was like, Joe Rogan experience.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Check it out. Yeah.
Really
you give the wrong podcast.
Yeah. It's like giving a fake phone number to somebody. You're like, oh.
Yeah. I'm going to send them something like really wholesome so they don't turn on my fucking sex and dating comedian podcast where I bring on a bunch of troubled people to talk about those things.
Yeah. To talk exclusively about
very troubled people.
Yeah.
That's
People who, if they weren't doing podcasts, would be in a white room talking to the walls, telling the same stories. But
if
that's
you
not what I
were
want
in
my
a
potential
room
dates to see.
where other people as fucked up as you were laughing, it would be like, this is not okay.
Yeah.
None of these things that are being said are okay. None of this.
Yeah,
None of this should happen. It certainly shouldn't be talked about after it happens.
And then talked about on a public platform.
Yeah. For anybody to see. Just anybody.
Yeah.
I had a girl that I was dating that I really liked, and then she started watching the podcast, and I kind of stopped hearing from her so much.
Yeah. Probably correlated. That's probably
all
correlated.
the pee stories. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking prude.
Yeah.
No, she was like, he's never peed on me. He doesn't even like me.
Yeah, maybe she was sad. It's a whole different spin. I really liked all your alternative theories to what's behind things happening.
That's what I'm
really
here for. I'm here for alternative realities.
Here's what may have happened. And it could have.
It might. It really might have.
That's what makes it fun.
It might possibly have happened.
What if you had Taylor Swift on your podcast and we had Travis Kelce on our podcast on the same week?
That would be so cool.
That would be fun.
That would be
good.
really cool.
We would FaceTime each other during it.
First of all, let's talk selfishness. That would just be insane views for both of our podcasts.
Well, that would be very good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be very.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys are watching, Taylor and Travis,
I'm sure they watch.
GT.
It would put us on the map,
you,
just like she put Travis Kelce on the map, as people joked.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. People finally know.
He's in
who
Kansas
he is.
City, so that's hardly on the map, you know.
It's fair.
Yeah.
I would never want to fuck.
Nobody even knows what
Kansas.
state that city's in. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not.
Exactly.
Is it even
Any
in
city
Kansas?
that has to share two. Come on, bud.
That's how I know the dick has to be good, because nobody's going to willingly date somebody that they'd go to Kansas for.
That's from Ohio.
That's
Yeah.
That clearly has brain trauma.
Yeah, he came from Ohio
That
to
dude's
Kansas.
got a fucking hog on him.
Yeah, it's adorable.
It's definitely aesthetically pleasing too.
Yeah.
It's not just big. It's like
I
it's
would
pretty.
I would say
Yeah.
it has a
based,
gleam.
I would say
Yeah.
based on her dating history, the brain damage part is like that's one of her green flags.
It's probably helpful.
I would guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Given
Yeah.
all of her songs.
Dude, if you're as rich and powerful as Taylor Swift is, you just kind of need a dumb, pretty strong pet that you can
Yeah.
kind of walk around.
Well, realistically, that speaks to another dating issue, and kind of that guy as a full circle thing is like he's found all these like powerful boss move female things to be something that's not associated with you being dateable to men. So it's like if you're that successful, sometimes you need a dummy because he's not going to be intimidated or threatened by your success.
Right. Yeah.
He's too dumb to notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like all the memes are hilarious.
He's just
where
like,
they're
love you, babe.
People are like,
Also, he's like, you know what she's not good at? Football.
yeah, yeah. Like people keep talking about that with like how some of the
she's
new songs are
smart and pretty
unhinged.
and successful, but like she can't even catch a ball, dude.
Can't even catch a ball.
Can't even.
But people are saying that where they're like,
Think she knows where the A gap is?
Travis can't be upset about this album. Like people are like,
Oh, I
wouldn't it be
showed-
crazy to hear somebody pining over like their ex, like that you're dating and blah blah blah. But they're like, Travis can't be offended because he doesn't understand half the words.
Yeah.
You know, like that's
absolutely.
what you need.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need that. Smart girls love dumb guys. Science.
It is. Yeah. It's the science.
But
of smart
that
plus
makes
dumb
us-
equals
Mediocre.
sex.
But in an ironic twist, that makes us dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're okay. I
Yeah.
see. Oh.
I was considering myself smart. I know that was audacious of me. Travis Kelce doesn't know that word.
He doesn't. He does not. No,
I think
no.
that was just like threatening to
And
him.
if he did ever, it's not like he has forgotten it.
If he
Yeah.
knows it, he can't spell it. Certainly.
There's a protein spot in his brain now. Where
And I love that for
word
him.
used to be.
Oh, there's like people love pulling his old tweets from college and stuff. The way he spells things, it's like a fifth grader. It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have to learn how to read.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because ball.
Like,
Yeah.
Get in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's all made up letters and numbers and shit
Yeah.
Yeah.
for plays. Yeah.
X, Y, and Z. That's all you really need to know.
Exactly.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
No, I guess they don't use made up. They're not writing their own languages for football.
Be cool if they did.
That would be a very good coach.
That'd be a good
coach,
idea.
A coach that, like he's like, all right, first day one, we're all learning a new language, and
Tony-
that's the language we're gonna speak.
Tony, can you look up like Parks and Rec leagues for Belton and like Austin and see if they need coaches for football this fall?
Yes,
I got an idea.
He's
we
ready.
won't be there. in fall.
Good. Look up Austin. I like that.
The reality is he is in a special segment of men, though. You can't just like dumb guys. He's attractive enough for the dumbness to be endearing instead of gross.
Right.
Like there's
But
a
also
line for that.
successful.
Yeah, successful and attractive enough for that to be fine.
Yeah, because like if he was just a dumb loser,
Yeah, then
That's
you're like,
not-
he's a dumb loser.
yeah, well you fuck him, but you don't stay
yeah,
with him.
especially for me.
Exclusively.
Dumb losers, line them up.
Oh, I love him. Oh, and he's a little sad.
Oh, that's exactly it. Yeah,
But my
nailed
boobies
it.
will cheer him up.
Nailed it.
They'll fix him.
And they will.
I need to be the reason he's happy. My entire existence depends on it. Yeah. That's
So
it.
did you ever hear from this guy again? Did he leave? He didn't
Yeah,
like.
he
there wasn't-
texted
there
me.
wasn't a
Of course you did. Yes, of course. Yeah.
He texted me
was-
the next day.
Yeah, for sure. He
No
was
shame
like,
spiral.
hey, did you have as much fun as I did last night? What the this guy's
That would have
retarded.
been a way better. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. No, he sent me a really like sad text about how embarrassed he was and that he was like doesn't know how he got that drunk and he was really sorry and
Okay,
he
well,
assumes that I don't want
alright.
to see him again. But if I change my mind, let him know.
That's not sad.
That's fair. No,
Yeah.
that's good. That's best case scenario because that
Yeah.
means
He's not a psychopath.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
he has some level of-
it was more the alcohol than his personality.
Hopefully.
Although obviously part of your personality is you get too fucking drunk when you meet somebody.
Yeah.
So you got to work on that at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be
And,
you're gonna be
I'm
weird.
anxious.
and you suck when you're
Glug,
drunk.
glug.
So stop doing that.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Yeah.
like you may
And
be great when you're not. But
It's an issue to know in advance before you date someone if they're the type of drunk that's fun to be around and it's a good time, or if they're the kind that's going to yell at you, or if they're the kind that's going to ask you weirdly inquisitive questions about your sexuality.
yeah, and then apologize later.
Yeah, like
Hey, I know that was
okay,
weird.
so you're fine sober,
Yeah,
and then
I
every
knew
time
it
we
was
drink,
weird when it was
I'm a lesbian.
happening.
Yeah, like
I noticed then.
yeah. So then I get in a relationship with this guy, and every time he drinks, he just accuses me of fucking women. That's crazy. That's
Right,
that could have
and-
been what I was opening the door to.
Right? Jesus, that's another.
That's exactly what that
You're
was
like, I
opening.
Yeah.
can't have female friends.
Yeah, yeah. He's got some weird complex because, like you said, his ex was a
Probably.
lesbian.
Damn.
Or mom
Or
left
back.
dad for dad's sister.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, that goes even deeper.
On Sally.
And then it happened to him
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
It's
To
just
be fair, he had no business dating his mom in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
This
Like,
isn't Othello or whatever. That,
yeah.
is that the right
Oedipus. But, yeah.
one? Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Maybe.
Thanks, English people.
Was there also some
Motherfucker.
incest in Othello? There might have been.
Isn't one of them about like the son and like the son?
That's
has,
Oedipus. Yeah, that's
Oedipus?
specifically. Yeah,
Yeah.
the son kills the father so that he can fuck the mother.
That's the one. But as far as incest goes, I feel like most of the Shakespeare, I feel like there's a lot of fuckery in between.
We know what he was thinking about, and
Yeah.
it was his cousin.
There's also
Clearly.
just England at the time and England now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the royal people for sure.
Yeah.
But to be honest, those are your only options. Is family.
Yeah.
So it's like, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
But be into incest because you have to.
Yeah. Nobody else on your level,
Yeah.
I get it.
Speaking of incest, I went on a weird date one time.
I was wondering if this was an intentional segue.
No, that would be more fun.
We got to soften the people to the idea of incest before I share this story.
Don't worry, our viewers won't be soft when they hear about incest.
When they, yeah, no. Yeah, this
You have
is,
that special type of.
You'd be
Leadership.
hard pressed to find some.
yeah. Step right up and hear this story.
I'll leave.
So,
Yeah.
so I lived in a tiny little town in South Carolina for like a year and a half, something like that. I used to work for LA Fitness and a couple other gyms, and I would do I would go and open new locations. So I would just go to a city. I would be there for a couple months while the gym
Yeah.
opened, sign a bunch of people up, and then I would go to the next one. right?
Okay.
So I was but this particular town, I ended up getting a job as a personal trainer and ended up staying there for a while because one of my buddies lived there. And so while I was there, I worked part-time as a personal trainer in the gym on the weekends. And then during the week, I worked at a cell phone place
Okay.
in this little mall. And this mall, it's actively being demolished because it failed so many times. Like every store in that mall at some point closed within like 6 months of
Yeah.
opening. It was
How long
insane.
ago was this?
10 years, 10 plus
Okay,
years.
so malls were still relevant.
Oh, this was this was the COVID and all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was when malls did well.
Yeah.
But in this particular little town, and it was
Yeah.
also because that little town is close to Augusta.
Okay.
And so anybody with money would just drive the 30 minutes to Augusta instead
Yeah.
of going to their little shitty mall.
Yeah.
But this mall, and this will matter later in the story, but this mall closed at 8 p.m. on the weekends and then 6 p.m. during the week.
What?
Every night, 6 p.m. it closed because they didn't need to fucking be open because there was nobody in there buying anything.
Yeah, but they're kind of contributing to the problem.
But also after whatever it was, 10,
They probably
15
used to be
years of
open.
that
Yeah.
mall being open.
Yeah.
And places like TJ Maxx and Target and shit like that closing, like anchor
Wow.
stores would be there for a couple of years and then shut down. Yeah,
Damn.
it was awful. It was always just like a rotating
Yeah.
thing. So I ended up going out on a date with another girl who worked in the mall at like the Sunglass Hut or something like that. And I was actually interested in her friend and had talked to her friend a couple of times, and she was like, I don't want to date you because my friend is into you and like it'll hurt her.
Yeah.
And so I was like, fine. I'll just go date her and show her what a piece of shit I am, and she will no longer be interested in me, and then I can date you. Right?
Smart.
So
you're like, I'll go self-sabotage for a week. Sure, why not?
This also,
You fucking psycho.
yeah, absolutely.
Fucking false flag. You're gonna burn the house
Yeah,
down.
100%. No, I'm gonna start with a burning house. That's what we're gonna.
this
go
also
in.
tells me how little men think about like female interactions, because like this girl just told you she wouldn't even go out with you because she liked you, but then you think if you go treat her best friend like shit that she's gonna be like interested rather than hate you by proxy.
Oh, it worked.
That's crazy.
It isn't.
For me it is.
Didn't
But I'm
you
a very
just
loyal
tell the
friend.
story you just told?
Yeah, but I would never have that happen with my friends. Oh, I will literally. Men can like do the most offensive shit to me, and I'll just be like, whatever. And if you like wrong one of my girlfriends, I will kill you.
But it wasn't. I wasn't gonna like cheat on. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I was just going to show her the reality that like you're not. It like
Yeah,
this isn't what you think it is.
yeah. To me, it would be crazy though, to like being her friend, hearing her friend talk about all these things that make you a piece of shit, and then her being like, "Yeah, I'd go out with that." Actually, no, I would do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, you'd be like, oh, you know what?
Not ideally
I'll
to my
fix
friend.
all of those things.
Yeah. I wouldn't ideally do that to my friend, but
Yeah, but ultimately the situation
Yeah.
exists. But also, I was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I was 26 years old. I was an amateur bodybuilder. I was a part-time fucking. I was a like an athlete.
Former
I was,
bodybuilder to former
I was
bodybuilder.
a
Makes you a
pure
douchebag.
fuck boy, 100%, like through and through.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it didn't last long. It really did end up lasting like 2 weeks, and then I showed up high to her parents' house for Thanksgiving, and she was
How
super like strict Christian, and so I ate all of Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I
didn't mean how high. I meant like. But now that I know that you ate all of Thanksgiving
but
instead
also
of
like,
talking to
but also
everyone.
like I walked into the door and I had smoked at the house, and it was a
Oh my
30-minute
God.
drive, and I walked in the door and she goes, "Are you kidding me? You smoked right before you walked in the door?" And I was like, "No, I smoked a long time ago."
this is
What
so
are you
evil.
talking about, man? I smoked a long time ago. So
Oh my god.
yeah, it was. But again, that's all I'm saying. Like I wasn't gonna hit her. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, oh, well, fucking show this bitch. I was just like, you
Those
don't
were the options.
understand.
Show up high to
I
Thanksgiving or
am
hit
not like I'm not a good boy,
For
and that's what
self-sabotage,
you want.
yeah, Kylie. There's two options. Which one do you want? You either show up inebriated or I hit you. All right?
no in-
Aren't you
there's no
glad
in
that the
between.
guy?
One of the two.
You didn't
Yes.
tell the guy hit me story on the Stoney Baloney podcast. You told me the guy showed up fucked up
Yeah.
story on the Stoney Baloney podcast.
Yeah. Otherwise, this story would have ended with me hitting it.
Yeah.
So
You make a good point.
The first date, though, I go out with the girl, and she shows up. I did not know this. She shows up, and it's a double date. And she brought her friend that I want to date, and then some dude that she's not interested in, clearly, through the whole night, right? So that whole night was awkward, and the interactions again at the table, it was like with me and the girl that I was interested in, like she was clearly interested in me, and so like, and everybody knew very obviously that, and again, like they had talked about the fact that they were both interested in me. So the other girl, the one that I was trying to get out of the way, it's not like she didn't know the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like she was the shittier friend. She also knew her friend was interested in me and was
Okay.
like, I don't give a fuck about that. I want him.
Yeah.
Right? So I was doing a service. I was helping her out by showing her how shitty her friend was. See?
Yeah.
See? So
Sure.
God works in mysterious ways.
Yeah.
exactly.
Sometimes
Yes.
through the tip of your penis. Good
Yes.
job, bud.
Yeah. So sometimes, just every once in a while.
It's terrifying.
So
It's like the creation of Adam, but it's just
Yeah.
God. Like,
just the zip, bing.
just,
But he's like
my
flicking
God.
it. Like,
oh.
bing.
I was thinking full sounding rod, but all right.
Oh, just like down, just like down. Oh my God, that's ouch. The finger of God, or would it be like, oh, oh
Yeah,
it
the
would.
finger
It
of
probably would. It would be
God
like,
sounding
it would
rod.
be like light would be coming
That's
out of
the
my
name
ears
of our
and
band.
shit.
Also,
God
go tell
sounding
Taylor.
rod.
That's the name of our band. Finger of God, sounding rod.
What about just sounding God?
Not long enough.
No.
All these bands got these long
That's
names.
also what God said. So he could only get the tip of his pinky in there. He was like, this is barely worth the time. Barely worth the time.
Amen.
It was cold that day that I don't know what day it was.
Yeah. So May the 3rd. So we ended up splitting up at the end of the night, and again, it was just awkward. But like this, she's not like, she doesn't care. She doesn't care about the fact that all of that weird energy is there. She just wants to date me and wants to pretend also that it's not all happening, right? So
What a
we go to
catch,
the
Gabe.
car. Yeah, absolutely. So
Well, Gabe's a cell phone salesman
I'm
at
the-
a
yeah.
shitty mall, so
yeah,
sunglasses, girl.
Exactly.
Kind of a catch for him, honestly.
We're
Sunglass
being
hats,
honest.
those were nice.
Yeah. It wasn't even Sunglass Hut. It was like an off-brand that some local had opened when the Sunglass Hut closed. And
I'm
it was
sure
like,
she was pretty still.
She was.
Sunglasses.
Yeah. So, not as pretty as her friend that I was actually interested in. So,
Fair.
so anyway, we're sitting at the car and like, she keeps like trying to like lean, you know what I'm saying? Like make it obvious she wants to kiss me, and I'm also trying to make it obvious that I'm not interested, right? Because again, I'm just trying to get this over with as quickly as I can,
Yeah.
right? And so she finally like, all right, says goodnight, and then she just like walks right up to me and like, you know, presses into me, and so I kiss her, and as I kiss her, because this mall is never open past 6 p.m., there are only lights around the very edge of the building. So like the farthest parts of the parking lot, there aren't any lights back there.
Okay.
So it's just dark out there. There's just enough lights basically for employees to get to their cars at the end of the night when everything closes.
Yeah.
Right? So out of the darkness comes a cop car. It didn't have his lights on or anything, but it just like came out, right? And he pulls up like aggressively in front of us and gets out and just like starts arguing with this chick back and forth. And that's when I
The
figured
cop?
out, that was her ex-boyfriend.
Oh.
And they start going at it, and he's a cop in this local tiny fucking town in South Carolina.
Yeah, he has nothing to do.
Well, also the last place you want to piss off a local cop by
Yeah.
dating the girl that he's clearly still interested in.
Yeah.
Right? So they start like a full-on screaming match, and I was just like, "Fuck this, I gotta go."
Damn.
And so I just left. And then ended up again dating this chick for like 2 weeks, and then
That's it?
showing up high at her parents' house.
Was
on
that the
Thanksgiving.
final straw for her then? That's what made it work? Like for you to be done with her?
Oh, literally, she didn't speak like when I left that night. She didn't respond to my text messages, and then that was the last time I saw her ever again.
She's a better woman than me.
It was fantastic. It was very funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. and then literally the next day I showed up at the chick that I liked, who also worked in the mall.
How long did you end up dating her?
We didn't really date. We hooked up a few times and kind of
All that. For
her parents owned the Mexican food restaurant in the mall.
Yeah.
And she ended up going back to Mexico that summer, and then I didn't see her again because I moved before she came back.
Because he called INS on her. That's why.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Which was smart.
No,
That's a
I
good play.
actually called INS on her friend, who turned out to be legal, and it was all the thing.
Yeah, and then they found, yeah.
Yep, as they do.
Sucks.
It's not
And
really
INS is big on
yeah,
finding
It's
people.
not really on you.
Yeah, oh,
No,
yeah.
it's not.
They're good at
Exactly,
it.
right? Thank you. I needed that validation.
You've been secretly feeling guilty about it.
I have, yeah, this whole time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been eating at me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, we still got time.
Said you have to be there at 9, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's all look at our phones.
Yeah, we
together.
probably have like 20-ish minutes.
Okay. Oh, also, that small town is where I met my wife, like less than a year later. And when I met her, like a couple months into dating, she had heard about that interaction
Oh wow.
with the cop in
'Cause
the
the town
parking
is so
lot and
small.
shit because everybody
Yeah.
talks and shit. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
she
relatable.
gave me shit about that for like the first several months that we were dating. Yeah.
That's funny. Hey, she see again to your point. She heard that and she was still like, sure.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, but I bet he's better now.
Yeah,
And I was.
I'm sure
She
he had a
was
good reason.
right. As it turns out, I did. I was trying to help a friend.
Yeah. Yeah, you're being noble as we.
Yeah,
We decided.
chivalry. That's
Yeah.
what it was really all about.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to help a friend. I actually had a friend visiting me from out of town when this date happened.
Yeah.
But I got a Hinge match, which, was nice.
Those are nice.
And it was a pretty brunette girl, which, I enjoy. And first red flag is her name is Falcon.
Like legally.
Yeah, well,
As far as you know.
as far as I know, her legal name is Falcon.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
That's really bad. That should be the end. Like, it should be a 2-word story.
That's the joke, actually. That's your punch. That's your new set.
That's where
Her
that
name was
story
Falcon.
should end.
her name was Falcon.
Jesus
crazy.
Christ.
My name is Jonah.
You have to think about where
Like
she came from.
I dated a girl for like a month whose name was Moon, and like that felt like the worst decision anybody I knew had made.
Yeah.
Until I knew that you dated a girl named fucking
I went on a date with
Red
a gr-
Fox or whatever.
Well, you have to assume it's going to be bad because you have to think about everyone's dating issues tend to be something like parental that happened to us, right?
Antelope.
And so if it's something that's like a childhood trauma, think about the parents who gave them that fuck ass name. You know? So like
You're right.
you know this kid's fucked up because that was their parents.
Yeah,
Like,
that was a choice.
You
Somebody
made a
did that
choice.
on purpose.
Somebody did that. That's
somebody-
not Falcon's fault. You know? She didn't choose
Oh,
this.
that's fair. Okay.
choose
All right.
this.
That's what this. I like that. This is a podcast about redemption. This is about finding the best in
It's
people.
the redemption story today.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so this. All right, I'm gonna take a step back. Let's hear about Falcon. This genuinely good human being.
I have no ill will towards Falcon at all. It's just a very weird.
That sentence is so fucking stupid. I can't get over that being her name. That's so bad.
Yeah.
That's her real name.
Oh my
On her
god.
Hinge profile, and when I met her in person, she told me that was her real name.
That's crazy.
My name is Falcon.
That's wild. What was her last name? Like Smith?
I don't know. I didn't ask her last.
She didn't get that far.
I didn't have enough time. So
Well, also like she kept flying around the room. You know what I'm saying? Come back down here.
yeah. Yeah, I couldn't find my glove. She wouldn't
Exactly.
land on my
Yeah.
arm. It was the whole thing, dude.
That is a rough date.
It was terrible. It was embarrassing. There was a whole crowd of
Yeah.
people there.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was like, Falcon! Falcon! Come back.
And then she shit on a table across from us, and that was pretty much that was when we had to go home.
I was going to try to do a
What could've
bird
been?
screech noise, but I'm not confident that I can do that noise. Can anybody in here do like a
I cannot. I'm okay.
All right, so I don't remember like what our, what led into us like meeting up, like what the chit chat was on Hinge. But
Had to be good.
huh?
It had to be good.
It had to be, yeah. I'm usually just like bullshitting with people.
Yeah.
You've
But to
seen
get
my
past
Hinge
Falcon,
profile.
you
I've
decided
showed
to
you.
be
Yeah,
my
no,
Hinge
no.
profile.
She's saying like it better have been
To meet up with someone named Falcon.
Oh yeah.
if
Yeah.
you said yes to Falcon.
Well, I was also like
She
attracted
better
to
have
her
been.
I was
as
gonna say,
well.
or
She
she's
better have
really
been
hot,
very,
yeah.
very
Yeah.
hot, and
Yeah.
also, well, no, that's fair.
Just hot.
That's fair. That's
that was
all.
actually all we
No,
needed.
all right.
Yeah.
All right.
But usually, if the dialogue is boring and like the dating app, I'm not gonna like. If we can't have chemistry texting, then I don't think we're
Yeah.
gonna have chemistry in person.
But you could have had the best chemistry in the world with an ugly girl named Falcon. You're not going to that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because
I'm.
Falcon, ugly Sarah. All right, we'll figure it out. But,
Yeah.
we'll give her a try. Falcon? No way.
No,
No fucking
that's
way.
fair. Yeah, you got to be. That which also like think about the weight on Falcon's shoulders. Like you have. Oh, you want to put on a few extra pounds? No, Falcon. No.
Because
You
you
don't
got to
have the
carry
option.
her around.
It's funny you say that because when I got to her house, first of all,
Oh no, the problem was that the Falcon was too fat.
No.
so first of all, when I got to her house, she had like one of those windows at the top of her door that's like a half moon, right?
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking
yeah,
about?
The windows, yeah.
But it was like such a short door that when I walked up to the house, like I could see through the window. I wasn't trying to be like a peeping Tom.
Yeah.
But I rang the doorbell. And because
But I wasn't trying not to.
Yeah, But I saw her like walk by. Like she walked by, like from like the kitchen to the living room or like to her bedroom. And then she came back and she was wearing a fancy hat. I said, hey, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like that music video, like one of those hats, like a black hat, like a bowler hat almost kind of.
A bowler hat. Okay.
Yeah.
She just came back with this?
Yeah, she just came back. She like walked by, no hat, and then came and answered the door with the hat.
Okay.
So the hat was clearly
Like this is my door answering hat.
Mom told me don't answer the door without the hat.
She's
House
actually
is cursed.
Let's be honest.
Okay.
Falcon's mom definitely told her you never answer the door with an uncovered head.
That's true.
For sure a real conversation
Real
that
rule
happens,
of the
Scott. For sure. Yes.
Also,
Yes.
alternate reality here is that she's schizophrenic, and so she thinks she's also a doorman.
Oh, good days.
Yeah, you didn't hear
That
the
was two different
exchange.
people.
As she went through the door, she was like, "Your data's here."
You missed that.
Oh, my stomach hurts so fucking bad.
Because you're like, all of these things are true. And I'm just now realizing it.
All night he thought she had a really bad memory, but really it was just because he was talking to 3 different people. They didn't remember the stories, you know? That's crazy.
You know, now that you suggest she's schizophrenic, I don't know if I hope that that's. I don't know if I hope that. I don't know if that's better than what was actually happening. You know what I mean?
What was happening?
I'll get to the story. So we hang out, and we're like hanging out on her couch, and she had like this little Halloween decoration. Mind you, it's like March. It's springtime. She's got this little like, Halloween decoration, probably about it's like a skeleton's probably like as tall as this bottle, and she's kind of holding it, like playing with its arms and shit. And I'm like, oh, that's creepy. But in like a Rob Zombie, like Sherry Moon Zombie, House of Thousand Corpses creepy. I was like, it's not, it's like fun creepy a little bit,
Okay.
right?
Right. This explains a lot.
So that was fucking weird.
Like, she didn't pull it out while you were naked. You know what I'm saying?
So it
Like,
was
that's
endearing.
a different. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It wasn't,
But I could
And
tell.
she wasn't like jabbing
needles
needles into
it,
the back of its head. Hopefully. Hopefully.
That
But
was
I
the next part.
I could tell.
Scott's like, oh, she was. Was that a thing? Yeah, that's a thing.
But
It's called voodoo.
Yeah. Proceed.
The matter of fact, like the professor standing behind me, like taking notes and just looks up like,
That is what I used to do.
that is correct.
she's not hungover from alcohol. She's hungover from fucking pouring all of her witchcraft energy into our voodoo dolls last night before she did the podcast.
Exactly. Legally, you have to edit that out.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
This
Yeah.
podcast is for entertainment purposes only. We would never commit sorcery or voodoo of any kind in Texas,
Exactly.
not on Texas soil. But anyway, I could tell right off the bat that she's like either tweaking
Yeah.
or schizophrenic.
Right.
Now that you say schizophrenic, I never thought of that as an option and maybe a little bit of both.
Maybe.
Sometimes one leads to the other.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just, sad fact of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I was, willing to like entertain it. I asked to use her bathroom. First of all, her house was just like, it was a mess. And I'm like a little bit, I'm not like too terribly OCD or like a clean freak germaphobe, but like I keep my shit pretty fucking
Yeah.
organized, And her house was just like a scatterfest.
Why'd you wink at me when you say you keep it pretty organized? I don't even think you realized you did it. You're just like, I keep my shit organized. Like it's like you couldn't help yourself.
The sexual tension was.
It was palpable,
Jane.
wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. The sexual tension on this
Yeah.
podcast and at the gym afterwards is pretty crazy.
The gym.
Yeah. It's a guy named Jim. We keep him tied up in the basement.
He's the gym. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the gym.
Yeah, the
number
one.
one
Yeah,
gym.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
You'd know him if you saw him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, nobody ever sees him because he's chained up here.
Correct. But if you did,
Yeah, if I did. Oh, that gym.
oh, like Jim. Fuck.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you hear screaming,
Just
just Jim.
Just Jim.
Yeah.
He likes.
And he's down there
likes
doing
to do
pull-ups.
that. Yeah, he
Yeah.
likes to do that. He's fine. Not because he's trying to escape, because he likes them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's this little gym down there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jim's gym. That was so dumb. This whole thing was so
Yeah,
dumb.
yeah. But we did it.
In a good way.
I'll probably write that
Clip
down as a
it.
timestamp and send it to you.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we'll lose like 13 followers.
Yes, absolutely. As we deserve to.
Yeah. But you know what? Sometimes it's worth it.
It is. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That's what being a professional is all about.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm hanging out with her, and I am into the girls who are into like metaphysical stuff. And,
I
like,
am
Into
into
witches.
girls. Okay.
I really am.
Okay.
Yeah, I winked early.
Oh, yeah. That's. He had just left the audience with you guys' sexual tension. That was necessary. We needed that. We needed that. Right.
Continue.
You're into
You
witches,
act like
got
you
it.
want my attention, but you and I both know you don't want my attention. So
I want everyone's.
That's fair. Yes.
That's why we do podcasts. We like to be looked at and listened to, or else we wouldn't be doing this.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
well,
the whole
yeah.
game.
yeah,
That is the whole game. Even if nobody's watching or listening.
Yeah.
But up here, baby.
Up
Up here.
I got fans.
Ah, damn, I hate us so much, Scott. I hate us so fucking
I hate you both for that,
much.
actually.
Oh, God.
And also respect it.
So I'm hanging out with Falcon, and she's not like most girls that are like,
Named Falcon.
maybe have like an altar on their like
Yeah.
nightstand or like tarot cards. She's everything. She's a Reiki healer. Like,
That was her destiny the day she was named Falcon.
yeah, but she's
Well, I
If
mean, what a
Falcon
cool
worked
thing
at
to
a
get
bank,
to be
like, that
your
would be
own spirit
crazy.
animal. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty,
Yeah.
like, that's exciting.
Oh, thank you for bringing that up. There was like a big moth that flew in her house, like the big green moths, the ones that are like
Yeah.
this big, right?
Uh-huh.
And it like flew across her house. And she's like, "That's just a fairy." I was like, "That's a moth, and it's gonna die in here, woman. What are you
On
talking?"
that level.
But
What
I'm-
else has come into this apartment and died that you think was a mythical animal?
well,
Yeah.
There's squirrel bones in the fucking corner and
Dude,
shit.
exactly.
What the fuck,
and it
dude?
very much was like,
But anytime you wanted to be
teetering.
shocked, you thought to yourself, her name is Falcon.
her name's Falcon.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Correct.
Yeah, I was like,
exactly.
okay. She had to do this.
But I was willing to entertain
She
it.
had no choice. That is fair.
Like I said,
Poor
you can't.
Falcon. Really, that's what this story is
What
about.
was
It's like,
Falcon
aw,
gonna do?
Falcon.
You walk into a bank and she has a name tag that says Falcon behind the counter? No fucking way. That's never happening.
No, that's not gonna.
You walk into Chase Bank and they're like, "Hi, I'm Falcon. I'll help you out today." I'm like, "What is this? The fucking Harry Potter bank? What's the name of Gringotts?"
Yeah. If you've got a name tag that says Falcon on it at the bank, and you're like, I'd like to help you set up an account.
I'm gonna be like,
like,
"I'm going somewhere else."
I'd like to speak to the security. Now, forget the manager. I want to see somebody with a gun now, right now.
She
Somebody with a
snuck in
gun
here.
now.
Exactly.
Oh,
So what
man.
else? What else could she do besides Reiki and spells and?
She,
Weird shit like
she
that.
was just all of the things. She was like a descendant of aliens, a fucking Native American, just all of the like, all of the I've done too much ketamine or I've smoked too much meth and I'm into like Eastern philosophy and
Yeah.
metaphysics. All of those tropes that you could be. She was like a culmination of all of them.
The final boss.
Yes, she was the final boss at fucking Dead and Co tour.
Yeah.
Like she was.
Yeah.
And she had like one dread, and then like her head was like she had like a shaved side here, like one single dread.
One dread is way crazier than a head full of dreads. A head full of dreads honestly could have happened accidentally, and then you were just like, I'm going to go with it because you're just like the type of person that just
That
like,
would
ah,
also
fuck
match
it.
the type of vibe of a girl named Falcon.
One dread.
Yeah, with like a little bead in it.
And it had a name. For sure, they had a
I
name.
didn't learn it, but I am sure that fucking dread had a name.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
And the rest of the head was shaved besides that?
She had like this, you know how like some people do like the shave, like cut on the side?
Yeah.
Right here, she had like that.
Yeah.
And then the rest of her hair was long, right?
one
And then
dread.
she had one dread.
Okay. So it was one dread amongst the rest of
It
her
looked
hair.
like Skrillex's meth addicted
That's
sister.
not what I was picturing. And that's way less terrifying than what I was picturing.
Were there any colors in the hair?
Like if
There had to be.
the Wachowski twins directed
Like
a movie
bright
about
purple.
Skrillex, and Skrillex was transgender, that's what
Ooh.
she looked like. But anyway, it was fucking weird. And then I had wanted to go smoke a cigarette, so I walked out back to smoke a cigarette, and this is where it was very strange.
Yeah. All that leading up to it, I was like, normal date stuff. And then something weird happened in the backyard.
I'm just I'm softball pitch to you guys. I'll let you all take this one. So we walked out back, and the girl I was on a date with, had this little it was like a blanket that was all like crumpled and just like just fucking blankety and shit. It was blankety, and like a little cocoon or something, right?
Yeah.
And she had like books, like her notebooks that she was writing in, like books she was reading, and then like a bunch of other little like weird fucking talismans and stuff. And she was like, "Do you like my nest?"
This really was a bird the whole time.
No, her name was Falcon, and she had a nest though, and I just thought about that as I was about to tell that part of the story.
You just
I
now?
did not click in my head that she was like, "Do you like my
Oh,
nest?"
are you kidding me?
That's
until
immediately
I-
what I was like. She thinks she's a bird. For real.
Yeah.
You were you were mesmerized. Like she got when you walked in. Was she like? She got you with something, dude. She had a potion.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Oh no!
But
and then you jumped out of the window.
That's the only possible next step.
I did leave after that. Yeah, I love.
Or sorry, climbed down the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the nest was.
I ended up leaving, but when I went to like leave, like, okay, like I'll see you later, she had these like, I don't know, looking like you would look if like a demon was leaving your body, right? Where she was like spasming and shit, and then she was like, what happened? Like what happened? Like she, and then she started.
Like she just like came to life.
Yeah, like she came, like she was coming to. It was the fucking strangest, like, theater kid, like, meth addict, schizophrenic shit that ever happened to me, dude. It was very strange. I remember we had that friend of ours recently who told us about a girl that he went on a date with and gave her some, like, edibles, and she fucking, like, had a weird incident like that. And then, like, she was coming to, like, what happened, and then was like, "You raped me."
What?
So I was like trying to avoid a situation like that. You know what I mean? Like I tried to.
Your head was in a dark place.
Dude, no,
well, I mean, I don't think
but
that's. I don't think
just happened
It's
to
not
a friend
irrational.
of mine.
that is no. In that scenario, that's kind of the first thing I would.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You just like you don't remember anything that happened? Because I want to be clear. There's nothing to
that
remember.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it was
That's
a
a
very
valid
like
fear.
weird fucking.
no, because
Yeah.
obviously she's fucking cuckoo.
Yeah.
Like she lives in a nest, and her name is Falcon.
Yeah. So I tried to let her down real easy as far as like when she did her little come to thing, I tried to like nurture her and I stuck around for a little bit longer and just like hung out with her until I felt like she was
I married.
cool
I
again.
married her.
So anyway, Falcon, come out.
She's
My wife's behind the curtain.
What'd you do if just like a bird flew through here right then? That would have been crazy.
Dude, there's a falcon sitting on top of my Forerunner when we go
That would be
outside.
so
I'm gonna
sick.
shit my
Oh
pants.
my god, absolutely.
She's back.
But yeah, I eventually left. Like not long after that, I just stayed long enough to like kind of help her, coach her back to earth, and explain to her what happened.
Coach her back
Like
to
we were
earth.
having a date, and da da da, and then you just I don't know had this like coming out of a demon possession moment and started fucking acting like you weren't just having the date. So yeah, I left.
That also could still circle back to the schizo theory.
I think that when you said that she's schizophrenic,
Feels right.
Whoa.
I'm starting to think that.
Had she just taken the bowler hat off?
Hold on, bro. I was trying to think. Never open a door without a covered head. What just happened?
She didn't. She never had a mother to begin with.
No.
It was the fucking demon telling her to put the hat on so that he could inhabit her body and
Holy shit.
take advantage of poor men on Tinder.
The devil would wear a bowler. That's
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
That's right.
Was she also twirling like a cane?
No, I think about
Did she
it.
have coattails?
Oh,
Shit. Was this Jack the Ripper? Did you go out on a date with Jack the Ripper?
No, it was
so
Jim.
I've been dating.
You know the one. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
What was the thing?
You
was a
made-
callback.
Yeah, you
Oh.
made a
It's
callback.
funny.
Thanks.
She does comedy too.
She does comedy?
Isn't that crazy? He thought I was just walking by outside
her
and they were
Miss
like,
Maisel. There's two of them.
can't forget about Amy Schumer, you know?
I keep
So
trying.
silly.
I keep trying.
We all do.
But I, let her down gently and like left and texted her when I got home and checked on her and stuff like that. And the next morning, I, reached out and texted her and was just like, hey, I don't,
Was her like wing wounded? And you had to like in a bucket?
Yeah. So she had in the nest there was eggs. So I
Got it.
sat on the eggs for a little while.
Got it.
While she was like coming out of her schizophrenic 30-second coma that she was in or whatever. And then
As birds are wont to do.
or possums. But yeah, so the next morning I just texted her
Wait,
and
was
was
she a
just
possum? Is that possible?
possum.
Possum.
Possibly. Possibly. That's what it would be. Possibly. We'll edit that piece out.
Yep.
So it
That
looks
was gold.
perfect. And then this piece.
Yeah. If you know, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
But I texted the next day and just tried to like let her down as easy as possible. Just like, hey, I don't think that we're like compatible or whatever
Yeah.
generic thing that normal people say to each other when they're not like being, nasty to each other,
Yeah.
having a breakup. So it's very cordial with her. And then a couple weeks later when I was swiping on Hinge, because I went back on Hinge and I like blocked her.
Yeah.
Right. So a couple weeks later on Hinge, I got swiped again by her.
And you were
Falcon.
like, Hawk. That looks like more of a falcon than me.
He just changes identities after each man's soul she tries to take, you know?
But yeah, she had made a brand new Hinge profile
Still under the name Falcon.
under the name Falcon,
And she swiped you again.
and she found me again. Yeah,
no.
Very scary.
That's because she never lost you. That was the bowler hat.
It's true.
Those two different experiences.
She was also one of those people that I'm sure when you meet that they're like, you have I see your, you know what I mean? Like
No,
I'm
she
a
like
fortune
genuinely
teller.
doesn't know she met you before because that was a different one of her personalities.
Well, this guy looks interesting.
Yeah. Bowler hat swiped on you the first time. This time was just Falcon, you know?
Bowler hat swiped on you the first time.
Yeah.
That was the demon.
Yeah.
But that's my story. That's my worst first
Okay,
date.
so you're gonna go out on the date with not bowler hat version?
No, yeah, I blocked her too.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, that could have been a really cool.
It could have. Yeah, that would have been. That could have been fun.
So sorry for that. Thank you though, because you couldn't not laugh either.
That
All
was
right,
good.
so we made
Sometimes
it.
the best joke
We're
is a bad
skimming on
joke.
time, but we made it. So the name of the game is one of us was lying, and
thought
one
I
of us
remembered
was
that.
telling the truth. And now you gotta guess who was who.
Man, I already told y'all I'm gullible. It's captivating storytelling by both of you, so congrats on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was good. Do you guys know which one of you is lying
Yes.
already? Obviously, like about each other, like you.
Yeah, we flip
Yeah.
a coin to
Okay.
decide which one of
So
us
you know in
is.
advance.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, one of us is lying, one of us is telling the truth.
Yeah.
How will we not know?
I don't know. I thought about it after I asked it.
How will we not know? What if we both just came here and was like, I'm lying this week and I'm not telling Gabe?
That actually could be an extra
I'm
layer.
like, oh shit, I was gonna lie.
That could be an extra layer.
Fuck.
That's pretty genius, actually. You're welcome.
We actually did. It was way more convoluted in the beginning. And the
Yeah.
first couple episodes we did, we would flip a coin. Both of us would flip a coin on lying or telling the truth. So we could both be lying, or we could
Yeah,
both. And then
okay.
that was just too. That was
Was a
too many
lot.
fucking. Yeah.
Okay.
that was
So
too
now we
many
just
things.
figured twins paradox.
Yeah, just
one of us
one
is
or the
lying,
other.
one of us telling the
Yep,
truth.
Got it.
way easier.
You did say you've had a story you've been wanting to tell for this. So you're, see, I have too much of an overthinker for this. Because your story seems more ridiculous, but I could also see that being why it's like a red herring. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, was she a red hair?
Oh, you said falcon, not herring. My bad. Yeah, shit. Okay.
Walk out on my
Okay.
on this curtain.
I'm going to say Gabe was lying.
What makes you think that?
Because I feel like yours seems like it should be the lie. Things are usually not what they seem.
Oh, she's doing reverse psychology on us. That's usually we do the opposite. We try to trick the
She's trying
guest
to
into
trick us.
slipping. She's like now I'm like, wait, was you? I was pretty confident I was lying, and then I was like, shit, was she?
Was I lying? I don't know. That's what my intuition tells me.
You think that falcon who has a nest is true?
It's Austin. Was this in Austin?
Yeah,
It was in
That's-
Austin.
That's fair. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right
Yeah.
around South by.
People pay thousands of dollars to wear animal suits and fuck other people as animals. Like anything is possible.
That's fucking. That's fair.
Now I
That's
feel less
fair.
bad for going the dark place in my story.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yeah. And for fucking that girl in the bear costume. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, she wanted to role play Midsummer, and
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
obliged. I'm a
Yeah,
good
She's a
boyfriend.
passionate theater student.
Yeah.
and this wasn't a furry thing. Like, it was just like he was fucking a big gay
Bird.
hairy guy who felt like he was a girl on the inside. All right, that was too meta. It was too many layers. You're right. I was lying. He was telling the truth.
Ah,
Yeah,
I'm pretty proud of myself for that.
yeah.
You should be.
Do you know why also is funny? Is because I
Because
literally.
his story was better.
Well, no, I said yours was very believable, which again is what made me think that it was a lie. But I told you, I'm such a girl's girl. I was like, no girl was gonna do that. To her best friend.
Oh, good call. All right.
I mean, people obviously have. It's happened to me, but you know,
Yeah.
I just was like, I don't know. And that's just some shit you would get yourself into. Like, if anybody here was going to go on a date with somebody named Falcon, it would be you.
Yeah.
So, you know,
That's very
Yeah.
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
You were like, could be cool,
Yeah. She's spiritual.
could be
Cool.
funny.
It's definitely funny.
There's a lot of doing it for the plot that is a problem for me. So, I would do that. I don't know. Actually, I wouldn't because I have like a heart. Like, if I even think your name like sounds well, me and my friends have bedroom test names. You have to think about it. Like, the first guy I ever
Bedroom
liked in
test,
college, his name was Bob. And my roommate was like, "You can't fuck a guy named Bob.
Oh,
like, you can't
Bob.
say Bob in a sexual way." And then you make each other try.
Unless it's like straight up Midwest, like Wisconsin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because then that's not sexy.
Or if you're
saying
old, but I
anything.
was like,
and
you
also
know-
Bob just feels right.
And
You know
especially
what I'm
not when
saying?
you're 18 or 19.
Oh God, Bob, do it harder.
A 19-year-old named Bob is crazy anyways. His parents all
Bob, bend me
Yeah.
over.
You can't
Mama
do it.
likes that.
See? No.
No,
Nope.
no. All right.
So I would not pass on just simple names.
That's what all
like,
of my
I would not
aunts
accept
sound
simple
like,
names like
every
that on a
single one
date
of them.
because of that. It would be weird. And so Falcon, that's crazy.
Sorry.
And I felt also your pure joy of getting to roast him about that. I felt like that was genuine. Because I was also basing my choice off of how I watched you guys react to each other's stories.
Oh, smart. Smart play.
Yeah, that's fair.
You
Good
could tell where
strategy.
there was more like, because you guys,
Good
that's I guess what, okay, when I said, here, and I figured out how I phrased this wrong while I was out of my mind earlier and said, how would you know, do you know? And you're like, how would we not know if someone's lying? I didn't know if you guys already knew each other's stories, though. Like, did you know the fake story he was going to tell? Did you
that's
know?
what you meant.
Yeah.
Oh. Sometimes we talk about it and stuff, but not in
That's
like
fair.
full detail.
Yeah, not always.
I think
yeah.
I told you about
Yeah.
that date almost immediately.
Yeah.
though.
That story. Yeah, I yeah. As soon as you started telling it, I knew that story.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Which, to be fair, there could be like genuine shock just from the story being funny enough too. Like just hearing it is still funny, but
Yes.
I feel like you could tell if there was something like a
But
detail
that
was
also
more
happens sometimes
surprising.
too. We've had that happen several times where we're like, wait a minute, how have I not heard that fucking story before?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, sometimes people give us prompts, and I'm like, oh fuck, I've literally been reminded of a story in the middle of the guest story and told
Absolutely.
that instead of the
Okay.
story I was
Yeah.
going to tell.
Yeah. So you don't
And
always
then
know.
the guest been like, I think you're lying because you changed your story. Or I
Yeah.
think you're telling the truth because you changed your story or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're just like, no, you made me think of something else.
Yeah.
I'm just ADHD.
I'm fucking crazy.
Was your story based off of something that did happen? Or was that all just completely you made it up?
parts of that story were
Okay.
based
Yeah,
on
so there was
on
an
real
inspiration.
interactions. Yeah.
So
but-
even crazier if you're like, no, I just made that entire scenario up in my head. And I was like, that's even more impressive.
yeah, no, there were two girls in
Yeah.
the mall that
Yeah.
I interacted with in a kind of similar situation, but no.
Well, I'm impressed by both of your storytelling
Thank
creativity.
you very much. We
Because
appreciate that.
it wasn't the way you told the story that made me have to make a decision. I was looking at all the other context cues.
Nice.
Yeah.
Smart.
All right. Well, now plug.
These are great
plug-
liars.
Plug your shit.
Heard it here first, ladies. Great liars on this podcast.
yeah. This is where we get a lot of good plugs from our female guests about what pieces of shit they
Allison
are.
specifically said, if you want to date these guys, don't watch this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, turn it off immediately.
People probably feel that way when they watch ours too. It's fine.
Yeah, but that's better. You weed
Yeah.
out the ones that
Exactly.
are weak.
Only for the brave.
Yeah. All right,
But to
plug-
be brutally honest like that in public is kind of, I don't know. Is it?
I'm trying to be conscious of
Yeah.
time here.
Go ahead.
Falcon was brave. That's what we're saying.
Yeah,
Yes.
plug all of your things. We will have
All of my
links.
things. You can follow me on Instagram. It's Kylie.Kaiser.comedy13. Same thing on TikTok, I believe. And then I host the Responsibly Unhinged podcast with Quinn Collins.
Fuck yeah,
Find it on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube.
yeah. Who's supposed to be here tonight? But her mom's in town
Yeah.
for Mother's Day or
How
whatever.
dare she have a healthy mom
Fucking-
relationship?
Okay, whatever.
What the fuck?
I have a mom. Rub it in, Quinn.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really hurts.
I love saying that to people.
Never gets easier.
So Quinn,
No, it
you're-
does. It
Quinn
does
did that.
eventually.
Quinn did that to us. You're right.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we'll have you back.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I'd love to come back.
This was an absolute blast.
I had a blast. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you.